Hey everybody, it's me, Alex, Senior Vice President for Jet Lending. For those of you tuned in on our last one, we just did. Um, we got the Excel sheet working, and so just kind of go over what we're going to go over today. For those of you who aren't on, we're going to go over loan to value lending, loan to cost lending, and the reason why we're doing that is to make sure that you guys know how the math of lending works. And the reason why that's important is for you investors out there that are going out there and quoting deals. You guys want to get the contract as fast as possible. You guys have to understand how your money works, okay? If you can understand this concept, you guys will be able to negotiate better deals, and if a deal works for you or not, quicker. The quicker you get these done, these negotiations, the faster you can get deals closed, okay? So first I'm going to go over loan to value lending. What is loan to value lending? Loan to value lending is a way of lending that does not have a loan to cost rider in front. The true loan to value lending is where you can come $0 out of pocket. Now that the Excel sheet's working, I'm going to show you how. So we're going to do these live so you guys can see in real time how to do this information. And just as a reminder, you can always chat, network with people in there while I'm talking, ask questions, whatever you like. All right, so let's get to the math here. All right. So let's say you have a property and you're considering buying it for $150,000. Let's say the ARV is $300,000. Let's say that you had to put $50,000 into this deal. Let's say yearly, let's be accurate here. So let's say 300,000 times, let's say 3.5%. So let's say the taxes were about $10,500 a year. Okay. The reason why I'm putting that in there is because a good lender should help you out and escrow your taxes. Okay. The reason why you should do that is right now, this is December 2022, just in case this video carries on into next year. Tax bills are already out. All right. So paying your 2022 taxes. We had investors close in June where we've escrowed their taxes. So their taxes are already ready to be packaged up and paid for the year. So nothing's more stressful when you think you're doing okay, your loan carries into the next year and you don't have enough money to pay your taxes. Okay. So let's just say for this purposes, taxes are about $10,500 a year. Okay. So let's put you at 3% origination at 11.9% interest only payments. And I'm going to hold your repairs in escrow. All right. So if you did on loan to value, remember loan to cost is coming after this. On loan to value lending, okay, that means I can lend up to 70% of the after repaired value. Okay, so that's 300,000 times 70, which is right here, $210,000. Okay, and you're like, well, I need 50 grand to make it worth $300,000. So what I did there is I'm like, well, I can lend you 210,000. I'm going to take 50 out of the 210. I'm going to hold it in escrow. So when you're doing work, I have money waiting there for your deal to reimburse you. So always ask your lender if they're putting your repair in escrow. All right, are they charging you for the full 210 or just charging you just for the 160 that they're funding at closing? If they're not charging you the money for your repairs before they're deployed, most likely, so just ask, most likely they're not holding those repairs. If you were around as an investor in around the 2015 era, you can probably remember that there was a few times where you'd ask for a draw from somebody and they didn't have the money to give you. So always make sure whether you're using a hard money lender or a private money lender, those funds are put somewhere for your deal. Okay. So right here for loan to value lending, possible ARV at 300,000, 50 in repairs. You're going to buy it for 150. All right. So your origination is 3% of the total loan. Okay. And that is 3% of 210. That's $6,300. Make sure you have understanding terms is as important as understanding your rate. Okay. So understand what you're paying for. We put our everything just we're transparent. We pay our attorneys $375 to draw your closing docs. You don't owe those fees unless you close because you have to pay for legal docs. We always estimate on your term sheets what title could charge you because that's a fee. It's just not a fee from your lender, but it's something that still comes out. It's still something you have to calculate. So if you're working with title companies, and let's say you have a good relationship with one, have an understanding what they're going to charge you and tell your lender, say, hey, can you put that on my term sheet so I can see my full numbers? This should be as close to your closing disclosure or your settlement statement as possible. Okay. So make sure, right there it says 3150. At 1.5% kind of falls out of balance as the loan gets larger, but that is just a fee that your title company is going to charge you. Your processing fee is another thing that your lender will charge you, like your flood certs and your credit reports that they pull and all that kind of stuff like that. No fee should be charged before you close. Okay, whether you're using a loan to value or a loan to cost lender. So just be aware of that. If you're paying for fees and nothing's closed yet, it's suspicious. All right, just a word to the wise. Okay, so right here, if you did this deal, you bought it for $150, ARV $300, 15 repairs. Your total closing cost would be about $10,805, but your out-of-pocket cost at closing would be about $805. Why is that? Well, because the after repaired value was $300,000 and your repairs were $50, I was lending $210. $210 minus $50 is $160. Well, you're buying it for $150. So that gave me $10,000 to roll in all your closing costs. So granted, like with this, well, let's say you bought it for $148. Okay, just so you can see the zero. Look, that's negative now. That's how you come $0 out of pocket with loan to value lending. Okay, you have to buy it lower than what I'm funding plus your fees. Okay, so that's how $0 out of pocket. So anyone of you hear this, well, you could be in real estate with no money down. You surely can, but you have to buy them low enough. And that's how that works. Okay, so same thing happens on the reverse. You end up buying this for $175. Okay, now you're out of pocket $25,000. So loan to value lending does not equate to the as is or purchase price value like loan to cost lending does. There's pros and cons to both. So not one is better than the other. It's how you want to structure your business. That's why I'm showing you both, because most of my loans outside of Texas are loan to cost because Texas is a very interesting and special state. So we get to do loan to value. Okay. Like when I close my deals in Ohio, loan to cost. Okay. And that's why I'm going to show loan to cost next. Well, what does this deal look like? Well, it all depends on your holding costs. Okay. So remember, we had this at $300,000. Let me make sure I change that back to the $150. This is why it's important to get with a team that shows you your deal, that shows you that you're profitable. You want to get with a lender that cares that you're making money. Okay. That you wants to make sure you close 10, 20 deals. Okay. When you do that, we make money. When you do that, you make money. Both parties should benefit. It's win-win. Okay. So this is where you start talking about how much can you pay for a deal using loan to value lending. So when you sell the house, you have to pay back your loan first. You're paying back the $210 first. Okay. But then you have all these other things that you may have not considered when you are trying to buy the house. Holding costs. Okay. Well, your interest payments in your with your tax escrow was $2,957.50 a month. Okay, we got to pay yourself back that. Any money out that you paid, you have to pay yourself back. Okay, so let's say you were in this loan for 6 months, and let's say this was a relatively good size house. Let's say the utilities were $200 a month. Remember, you got guys in there using power tools. You got to turn the water on. People using the bathroom. You got to, if there's gas appliances, they got to be turned on eventually. All these things have to be turned on to check things and work. And you got to have, you guys get their painters at night. You got the lights on. You got to pay utilities. Okay. But remember, any money you put in as the investor, you have to pay yourself back to get your net profit. Okay. Selling agent commission. I understand and I agree that if you're an investor, you most likely should become an agent. That's just a personal opinion of mine. It's not a fact. But a lot of you guys are agents. You're going to say, well, it's 6% fees. I'm going to take 3% of it. In my opinion, being a real estate agent is a different business. So those P&Ls go to a different bracket. So you're still paying 6%, but to you from another business, another person. It's my opinion. So I'm going to use 6% here. Okay. So you have to pay yourself the $850 you came out of pocket your first time. You got to pay 6 months of interest payments, 6 months of utilities. If you have an HOA, always check HOAs. Okay. How many a month for maintenance fees? And if you're buying condos, really pay attention to them because they can be very large. Okay. Depending on the amenities. Okay. But let's say we had $50 HOA. Okay. You got to pay yourself back that. I have not seen a seller's contribution in some time. I think coming in 2023, probably definitely in 24, you probably start seeing those again. But with the state of the market it's been, I haven't seen a seller's contribution in a long time. But if you did do a seller's contribution, you should add that in to pay yourself back that. So right now, I put 30,000. That should be negative. Would you come out of pocket $805 to pay the bank back? Let's say it's Jet, $210,000. Pay yourself back 6 months of interest payment, every bit of utilities you paid, every interest payment you paid, 6% agent fees, paying yourself back, to still net $47,000. Now, of course, you're saying, of course I would. That's no brainer. Okay. Now, this is when you're getting these slam dunk deals, which you're saying, Alex, I don't even see these, which they're out there where Jet Lending closes these types of deals every month, like clockwork. But you're saying, Alex, I want to see things that I'm doing. Okay. So let's say you bought this for $166. Would you come out of pocket $16,000 to net $31,450? That means you paid yourself back the 16 back. So it's not 31 minus 16. The 16 is already taken out. Would you come out of pocket at closing $16,008 to make $31,400? And the answer should be yes, but it could not be. You may say, Alex, I don't get out of bed unless I'm making 50 grand. So it all depends on your business. Depends on how you're structuring your business. Okay. So that's how loan to value lending works. Okay. So let's look at loan to cost. Loan to cost is a little bit different. Okay. Loan to cost usually has a higher loan to value, but there's always a loan to cost rider in the beginning, meaning that it's either 85 or 90% of as is value or purchase price, whatever's less. Okay. And I'm going to show you the difference. All right. So with loan to cost lending, usually you're out of pocket more at closing. Okay. But your interest payments are less. Usually like on a true loan to value, you're probably going to be like 11.9. Loan to cost, you may be at 8.6. Okay. So you're like, okay, well, my interest rates are lower, but my cash influx out is higher. Which one's more important? So not one way of doing lending or businesses is right or wrong. It's how you're trying to structure your profit margins for your business. Okay. That's why I'm showing you both. Okay. So let's say that take the same deal. Okay. Purchase price, $150. Repairs, $50,000. ARV, $300,000. But this time we need an as is value. So let's say that you're buying it for 150 and you're getting a little bit of a discount because you're promising a quick closing. Okay. So let's say the as is value is 166. Let's say we're at 70% loan to value, 85% loan to cost. Let's say you're at 3% origination, and we'll put you at 8.6%. At 86, 8.6 on a 12-month term. Okay. The monthly taxes, we had what, 10.5 last time, so divide that by 12. That's $875 a month. And HOA monthly, we did 50. Okay. All right. So looking at this, purchase price was less than as is. Okay. So we are going to use the 150 in this example. So with purchase price being less than as is, you'd be out of pocket $22,500. Okay. But your monthly interest payment would have been $913. Okay. So it's a difference in how you want to structure your out of pocket. You're going to be out of pocket through the deal with less cash influx in the beginning, and then more as time passes you hold it, or more out up front with less over time. Okay, so it just depends on how you're trying to structure your liquidity. Another thing you have to pay attention to while you're doing this is the opposite, is when as is less than purchase price. So let's say this is really worth 140 as it sits, which happens, which means that it's worth 140 and you got into some bidding war and you're like, no, I can totally do it. And now it is, you're paying a little bit over what it's worth because you see a potential, you see the risk versus the reward is greater. Okay. So you feel that it's going to work in your favor. So this time you're out of pocket $31,000. That's why it's important to make sure that somebody looks at the deal and understands, how much it's worth, because most of this stuff is going to be based off the appraisal. Okay. So knowing your comps, it's very rare that you could propose an argument to an appraiser and win, but you can always propose an argument and saying, why weren't these comps used? So understanding your market and the comps and things like that, saying, hey, listen, I'm not seeing this. Why are you seeing this? Things like that is always best. Now, with this one here, your profit estimate changes. Making sure everything's there. So you got to pay the 169 back plus your repairs. There you go. Pay yourself back the 38, 6 months of monthly payments, utilities, everything. Profit was about 57. Okay. We went back to 166. Go back to purchase price. Still about 57. So what I wanted to show you here today was how can you utilize both types of leveraging when you're buying properties, and really for Jet Lending, since we can do anywhere in the country, what type of loans we can do for you. Okay. So understanding how the math of your money works allows you to negotiate faster in real time. You're in someone's living room and you can do quick math of 70% of this, and I'm minusing this, and this is what they're going to lend me at closing. And okay, they're going to lend me this. I'm out of pocket this. I could pay this. That's what's going to help you close deals. Even the loan to cost stuff. Let's say you're at 85% loan to cost or 90% loan to cost, and you're buying it for this, and you're like, I think I'm buying it below what it's worth, so I'm going to take 85% of that. That's what's going to be at closing. I need to have this much of my own money in the beginning. I could pay this because I have it. It's all about doing math really quickly. And that's why I like to do these videos for you guys, so you guys can understand what's going on, not only in the market, but doing the math to allow you to get your deals done more effectively. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. And, even if you're watching this later, comment in the bottom. Say, hey, listen, do a video of this. I've always been confused about this, and we'll do one for you. Here at Jet Lending, we're very big on education. We want you, a more educated investor, makes quicker and safer decisions. So we will do anything that you need at any time, any of these videos, to make sure that you guys get the education you need to get the deals done quicker and safer. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And if you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, please leave them in there. Check out our website. We have an education page for all of our old videos. Feel free to watch those. And if you would like to just, have time with just you and the team with a Jet, text us, call us, email us at info@jetlending.com. You could text the 281-872-7800 number. We'll set something up, go over your business plan, see how we can really help you grow. There's plenty of time in 2022 to get a deal closed. Let's say your New Year's resolution is to buy 2 properties next year. Let's get you squared away and get you what you need to get it done. Okay. So again, this is Alex, Senior Vice President over here at Jet Lending. Really appreciate